Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back. So, new format, right? Wasn't expecting a ban list today, if I'm honest, but we got a big one, as we've seen a couple of hours ago. But the first card that I wanted to try out was Change of Heart. It's a very old school card. I can't remember when this card actually got banned for us TCG players. I think it was, wasn't it on like one of the first ban lists ever? Anyway, so it speaks for itself. We got like years ago, Brain Control was like a Change of Heart 2.0. Eventually Brain Control got banned. We got it back, but with an errata. But now the fact that they unbanned Change of Heart, like the errata on Brain Control, seems pointless, no? But anyway, that's besides the point. So it speaks for itself why Change of Heart is in here. Then again, it's an unsearchable card, so more of that in a couple of moments. So I'm still going for this particular deck for Monarchs domain version because it's superior compared to the extra deck version like Exceed Monarchs or something like that. Sadly, we still don't have Brilliant Fusion at its fullest potential here in the TCG. So I prefer this kind of build as in with the Squires, so Idea Eidos, the one of Mithra, maybe two, depends, but I feel one is fine. And over the, the emergency teleport engine, as in 3 teleport, because again we are allowed to run it in a TCG with double red layer and 1 blue layer. Because I feel the Idea Eidos, they are terrible, like absolutely terrible if you have to normal summon them, but it's most of the time just as your last resort. Because again, let's face it, most of the time they will just get hand trapped. But if that's not, at least if that's not the case, then I mean they can just extend, like EDI getting back those banished Monarch spell and traps, getting you the double tribute summon during the next turn. Again, that's pretty big. And let's face it, this is not like you know, a super top tier deck. Like post ban list, probably Sword Soul, like a Brave deck, Brave, Tiny Brave, PK, whatever, and Despia. Right, Despia, I don't know, is this... I mean, obviously Despia is heavily focused on the extra deck, so something like Domain is definitely hurting that particular deck. Problem is going first. This deck is definitely relying on going first. It's, again, one of the next matchups will be against Sword Soul, and that's where the deck definitely struggles against both going first and going second. Because stuff like Droplet just plows through this deck. It's so versatile, like, even though, and Droplet doesn't target, right, if I'm not mistaken. So March is useless also, so that's one of the reasons why I eventually decided to drop March of the Monarchs from the main deck. So here the activation is negated, you know, Griffin sends itself back to the deck, so I can still use my Anka Mufrit, you know, the Pendulum Upstart, and get it from the extra deck, because again, Stormfort does prevent that, but the activation was negated. Anyway, so I tried to use Erebus, discarding the Monarch trap, again, kinda make the idea on my side of the field live. I think that was well worth it, right, to get back the Stormfort for next turn. I think the biggest threat here in this particular deck is the equip spell, and that's the biggest problem, is that Despia, no, not Despia, is Brave or Adventure, main deck's an easy out for Domain. You know, with the equip spell, you can just bounce back the Domain and, you know, make your extra deck live. So something like Vanity's Majesty definitely helps out a lot, even though, you know, the deck also runs Fogblades and Imper, Droplet. So it's definitely a hard time for this deck, but priority number 1 is to keep Domain on the field. And yep, even though I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the PK trap is a normal card, right? It should be. But again, the Silly Glare was there to, you know, gain control of it, and I believe the, the Draco Back can only be activated on your own monsters, yeah. And that's one of the reasons why now, in this current format, I prefer it over Kuras. Like, in the past, I was always a huge, a huge fan of Kuras, but now I feel it's not worth it anymore. The Silly Glare is much more useful, especially here in this matchup as well. Like, if your opponent goes for, like, normal summon one of your, like, Moye or one of your other Sword Soul cards, you know, just Change of Heart, that's basically the case. Then again, no, I went first, and, you know, this, what I was talking about is, Was it Droplet? I believe it was Droplet, yeah, to kind of shut down or bypass the potential domain. And, I mean, one negation is not bad. Like, okay, Stormfort, it kind of forces out the Baron here in this case. That's not bad. It's fine. I can definitely go for a potential follow-up play, but the thing is that Yugioh, I believe the name is right, of the Sword Soul level 8 Synchro, is that you can't chain block that. So, you know, the good old school technique with return Monarchs, so Noble Summon Monarch, use its effect, chain link 1, return, chain link 2. The Yugioh can still activate its effect to potentially negate the Monarch, and that's too good. Sword Soul is definitely a terrible matchup. This is without sighting, by the way. So something like, I've been trying out, as you saw, like Gamma. In theory, Gamma sounds really good, like using Pantheism in your opening turn, 1/1, and your opponent always having Ash, maybe Ghost Ogre, whatever, you know, you need an empty field, but you know what I mean. It just doesn't work out. The deck is so, well, not consistent enough to... I mean, if I want to main hand traps, they'll just need to be so impactful that it's really worth it. Like Ash, I don't think it's that impactful. Same for Imperm Droplet, that's an iffy one. I found room for Call By, I like Call By. But the only hand trap that I might suggest is maybe Nibiru, and that's even an iffy one. Other than that, I don't know, probably just side-decking Dark Ruler. Like, if you know you're going second, slap in those Dark Rulers, right? Especially against this particular matchup, right? Or something like Despia, Elvis Despia. Anyway, so this is definitely an okay field. I believe the Mega Stalos definitely came in clutch, and that's why I still like it. One of the Stalos, like with Mithra to get the double tribute summon, with return to potentially search that Stalos from the deck, get free information about your opponent's hand, and Desires is back to 2. Keep in mind, decks are going to run it again. Quite strange that they limited Desires on our previous list, no? So flash the Stormfort and that's GG's. But now the problem is that I'm going second, and without the side deck, yeah, okay. But it is what it is. So I go second and I see my hand, it's fine, it's fine. Mithra definitely helps me potentially getting through this board. Silly Galera is not the best. Very similar to opening Kuras, you don't want that. The Stalos, if you know you're going second, you're going to side deck that one out. So it's an iffy. Imagine one of those cards being a Dark Ruler. Would have been nice. We see that the opponent has like an Ash in hand. So we can dodge a potential Ash with Mithra, right? Domain, targeting Erebus. Let's say if you do have Dark Ruler, you know, use Dark Ruler first and then go from there. But obviously it's not the case. So get Mithra on the field. Yeah, imagine Dark Ruler, like, you know, Pantheism for Stormfort, a double tribute summon. I mean, Ash probably would, you know, be activated on the Pantheism search. Probably. Probably would not matter, right? Like one Erebus or maybe the double tribute summon. Anyway, so like here this is game. No reason to go through. So, I mean, okay, it's Monarchs. It's not really the most super competitive deck, top tier deck it was back in 2016, or as in, you know, 2016. I'm honest, Change of Heart, it's a cool card. It's not searchable. Is it better than, like, potential side deck options, like Dark Ruler? Probably not. Like, in all honesty, am I going to still main deck Change of Heart? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But then again, it's useless going first, so I might just drop it for better cards. Maybe the third copy of the, you know, the Pendulum Upstart, but it's an iffy one. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lead them signing out. Peace.